Alright, welcome to another edition of What the Fuck Happenings here. Formerly inmendham, but I'm still, sort of in the fog of who I used to be and what I have become. Ew. Yeah, old. But whatever. You'll have to deal with it. I have to. So, yes, you should have to also. So anyway, I got an email from some kind of a desperate male, trying to desperately be male. A boy just so troubled and so having such a hard time finding his way. Anyway, I might as well read it, right? If I can find it. Where the hell is it? It should be right here. Interesting. Alright, so anyway, so it's some Mark Habetter. Anyway, apparently he's this crucible person, and it says, please take a look and respond to this video debunking Ephilism. So I'm sure he's not going to debunk anything. He's just going to validate that he's a cruel, ignorant moron. And so there won't be anything to debate, really. So he says, Amanda, was destroyed by her own logic. No, that didn't happen. Let's see if you can respond to with any coherent or rational way. So, whatever. I mean, my rational arguments is cruelty is really rude. Okay. My rational argument is that I don't think we should live in a monarchy. I don't think people should inherit ownership of the world economy. And that's the way it exists now. That's the system you think, is precious. And it's retarded. I don't think women should have like a hoop in their nose and have it tied to a slop bucket and a vacuum cleaner. I don't think they're just boy toys. I don't think, like the Bible says, that they should be pretty much barely seen and never heard. I doubt you will ever understand what happened in the video, so then why you're wasting my time. Good luck, Mr. Spock. So thank you. I take that as a compliment. Mr. Spock was kind of a shitty Spock, frankly. So I'm Mr. Spock Plus, or I'm the mega Mr. Spock, or the better Spock. But whatever. This whole wearing your wife on your sleeve kind of thing is, as lame as people wearing their kids as a little badge. Look, I actually got an erection once. I have to prove it. It's so beardy. Oh, he has a beard. Yes, it's just beard, So, yes, you could go into all kinds of psychology, but I won't bother with any of that. So anyway, I will play the video. Okay, since he asked, I'll go ahead and indulge. But it's going to be, we know it's pointless, right? Because we don't have any agreeable premises. My concern is the universe has all kinds of stuff banging around in it, and there's no evidence some God is controlling it all. That it's rather unorganized by any intelligent interference. So there's no intelligent design, and it's kind of obvious in your own biological construction, frankly. But whatever. And and there's stuff in this pile of mush banging around that has a brain that's capable of creating the illusion of sensation. And it's one hell of an illusion. So, in my opinion, as the experiencer of sensations, I clearly understand the value of them. That there's decidedly negative ones and decidedly unnegative. Relief from negative ones. And they have a value difference. And that's all they have. The only difference they have is one sucks and one is fantastic. And that's it. And so I logically think the idea is to minimize the amount of the bad stuff, and especially in a circumstance where your good feelings might be made out of something else's bad feelings. Well, that's unacceptable. See, that's called a non-starter, or that's a zero tolerance kind of statement. You can't enslave something else to your needs. That don't work. It's illogical. Okay, so if you have to kill, brutally, 10 baby lions to make an adult lion that gets to fornicate, that's unacceptably too expensive. Too much bad for too little good. And you're never going to understand that argument, so what's the point? Yeah, you're a cruel idiot. So there's nothing else to say to you. You're playing hopscotch, okay? You're not playing reality. You're in a little game theory of your own, okay? That doesn't have anything to do with real truth and real consequences. You're a fabulist living in Candyland. You're an idiot. Yeah, okay, there, okay. Enough said. All right, and you're placating, you're patronizing an audience of morons. So you're telling the dumbest people on earth what they want to hear, and you're proud of yourself, which is really pathetic. All right, so with that context, I guess, leave us play some of this crap, no doubt. This whatever this is, struggling male ego. So his icon, which you can't see, okay, it's him yelling at about, you know, because they have to make this all so dramatic because they're selling it with ads about putting smell good on your balls because God made a mistake and made your balls smell. Yeah. Why isn't that in the Bible? Well, I guess it is. That's the whole, you know, cleaner circumcision thing, and, you know, don't eat the pigs because they're full of human diseases and all kinds of other, you know, perfectly rational observations about reality that have seeped into the religious stories. Once in a while they get a piece of reality right. You know, don't lick an anus. Well, now the Bible doesn't say that, but it's probably good advice. Anyway, let's continue. This is sort of like a gayness. Ugh.
So I was just going to summarize quickly what...
Okay, let me bring up the volume a little for myself, more than you. Alright, just going to summarize something. Okay. Play.
What I heard from Amanda was she said that he doesn't believe Christianity is true.
Oh, well, I mean, this is just so obvious. I believe it's the silliest story. I mean, come on, it's just so fucking stupid. Rape a woman, and if you marry her, it's okay. Thumbs up. Way to go. You forced her to live with you. Oh, those are values. They're so... I mean, it almost brings a tear to your eye. It's such a lovely story. Fuck.
Not because she can't demonstrate that it's not true, but because she just doesn't see a good...
Oh, what's the point? Yeah, we prove your silly God theory isn't true. I can't prove that there's no bent geodesic either. I can't prove lots of silly stories made up that things are entangled. Yeah. All you can say is the evidence sucks. It's a shitty theory. So go ahead, believe your silly theory, all right, and just, you know, you should just wear a little sign on your head. I'm susceptible to silly theories. Or, you know, you could be more plain and just say your brain don't work right because logic demands that you have a good reason to believe something, not no reason or unreason. And in the case of God, you have an unreason, which is humans are lying scum, you idiot. You think these are real stories? God, you're pathetic. You believe humans? The eyewitnesses? I mean, these are people that, you know, would totally doubt an eyewitness if they're the wrong color. You know, yeah, it's just ridiculous. But I should believe this silly story made up by people who didn't know what a microbe was. Oh, yeah, sure I should. Oh, yeah. No, I shouldn't.
Reason to believe it. Well, but even if it's not true, but here's the important part, even if it's not true, it's still it still produces a better experience.
Oh, okay, so this is all it's about. It's what you're personally happy with. So yes, let's go back to having slaves, because that made the white people really happy. It was really comfortable to have somebody else clean up your mess and, you know, take your poo outside, do all of that shit. It was really great having some slave to make miserable so you could be happy. Because that's all that matters, is how fucking happy you are. It doesn't matter how much your fucking happiness costs something else. Oh, I mean, this complete denial of the existence of victims is just disgusting. You should really get what you deserve. Oh, goddamn. But we all do. The shitty civilization we have created dooms all of us, okay? You're going to die, and guess what? Somebody's going to wake up just like you did and say, oh, fuck. My parents are morons. Yeah, and it's going to suck.
Of life and less suffering than her worldview does.
The idea that just because people may believe that a lie makes them happy is not really a good thing, in my opinion.
Okay, so where is this guy? I mean, I thought you were supposed to be making some kind of argument. So already the argument's been made. We are obligated to believe in a Holy Ghost. No, we're not obligated by any good logic. There's absolutely no good logic. It feels good. That's not good logic. Rapists feel good. You know, raping. That mean they should do it? I mean, fuck you.
I mean, there's lots of really great things that I could believe. Like, I'm gonna go out tomorrow and I'm gonna get nominated for all kinds of awards and all these accomplishments, and that may not be true at all. Now, it might make me very happy in the moment, but the fact that I'm profiting happiness from a lie, that's fine if that's the way you want to.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I can make up stories and pretend I'm a millionaire, and I can pretend lots of things, and I could delude myself into believing. But it's not going to do you any good in the end. So, I mean, I could use the story of my sister, right? She was one of these people that believed in this fucking bullshit. And so much so that she went to a shrine in Mexico while she was dying. You know, that's how desperate it all was. And in the end, she had to just conclude, no, there's nothing I can do. I mean, I've pleaded, I've begged. I've done every kind of attrition, and God just couldn't give a fuck. Okay, he just thinks there's some good reason to torture me. And she realized that's all I'm being, is tortured. For nothing. Nobody's going to win. My daughter's not going to win. My parents aren't going to win. My brother's not going to win. Nobody's going to be better off for it. They're just going to live the rest of their lives with some image of a tragic, horrible waste of pain and suffering. Again, you assholes are going to sit there and glorify it as some tribute to your fucking Lord and Savior. Well, fuck you and your fable. Fuck you and your delusion. Eat shit and die, you pieces of crap. Ugh, it's disgusting. People justifying torture.
Live your life.
Sanctifying it. Yeah, let's bleed the animal for God. You know, let's cut its fucking arteries open and let it bleed out for God. Because God loves to watch death. Obviously. Because that's all that happens on this fucking planet is death.
But whether it means
brutal death. Alright, so now we got his first word. Now you should pause the video. See how I just paused the video before I start talking? That's what you should do. So it sounds like you're going to start talking while she's still talking. That's poor performance. Just letting you know. As a performance artist, I'm just giving you some advice. That your performance will be a little bit better if you don't try talking over the fucking video. So let's see what he does.
Number 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, he's talking over the fucking video. I mean, goddamn. So he has a microphone. He doesn't have a spit guard on it. And he has it shoved in his face because, you know, that's that whole phallic thing. He really... Oh, I love that image with me and stuff in front of my face. Yeah, it's just, oh, God, it makes me so hot to be sucking on my microphone. I'm so Larry King. I just, yeah. Pathetic. And he's so dark and flamey. He's such a man.
Impose
Watch
that
this.
Same,
oh boy.
fictitious joy.
Uh-oh, that's just some kind of commentary. So, boy, I have to counter-argue the oh boy. Let's see what I can come up with. I can't say oh girl because, you know, girls are silly and stupid and they should be chained to vacuum cleaners and slop buckets. So let's see, what can I say? Oh, pig face. Yeah, how about that? Oh, pig face. Shit. There's lots of parties you shouldn't go to, even if the invitation is very nice. So, he invited me to counter-argue, oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh, he did it again. Oh boy. I'm a redneck Christian right-wing kookafuck. And I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I don't really care to know anything. I just want to suck on some bacon. Oh, fuck.
First place, it's just a little
Oh boy.
Oh, man. Jeez. You know you're a redneck when you oh boy 3 times in less than 22 seconds. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh, just so funny. Oh, vagina. That would be so much more interesting. Oh, vagina. What the fuck is you skanking about? You could say something a little more interesting. All right. Well, this is obviously just for comic relief. This isn't an actual philosophical video. Yeah, no. It's just mock a retard. And I really don't want to spend my life mocking retards. But anyway. Alright, well, that's the beginning. I'll go take a break. Come back later. It's all so much fucking fun. That's satire. Alright, back to the crucible and such. Let's try this.
Well, it might be silly to you, but from your own utilitarian worldview, can you tell me why that would be wrong? Because from a utilitarian perspective, a lie that makes everyone happy and provides better well-being and more...
So, again, better well-being for who? So again, these lies, like slavery is fun, that's a lie, okay? Because it's only fun for the people who own the slaves. It's not any fun for the slaves. So again, this whole argument is based on, does your delusion make it possible for you to cause harm? And the fact is, if you have a delusion that animals don't feel, and that their feelings don't matter, okay, then that delusion is going to be really harmful because it's really ignorant and stupid. If you think like retards don't feel, and you could do medical experiments on them because they're retarded and they can't calculate properly, therefore their feelings don't matter, and we could do laboratory experimentation on them. That would be a dangerous delusion. Now, it makes you happy because you get your free medical care. You know, you get much more advancement in your science, and somebody else pays for it, and you're not acknowledging the payment. So, fuck you. That's not utilitarian. Utilitarian is understanding the whole price. Not the price for you individually. The whole price. That's the subject. The whole price. All the people, you know, all the children who have to be killed with leukemia and, you know, die quickly and horribly. All of that has to be in your little calculation of it's worth it. So if you're going to claim it's worth it, you have to account for all of the price paid, not just, it made me happy. That's not utilitarian. That's nihilist, selfish, ignorant country. Alright, I don't know why I hit that pause button. Hopefully that's a recorded video. Yeah. Hopefully.
Positive experiences and less negative experiences would have to be good. It would have to
I don't know how to make this argument to you other than to personalize it. Let's say
what is this asshole's role here? So he thinks he's making some positive contribution to the video by making noises on top of it?
I end up becoming an anti-ableist, okay? You've done everything possible to make sure that they have a good life, that they're happy, that they believe in God, they have all of your values, and let's say they end up being somebody more similar to I am, to myself. Can you still justify that you were right in making the decision to have them, even though they may be in incredible amounts of pain over this realization about life?
Of course, because ultimately it is you. And
Alright, so ultimately it's just be a selfish cunt. Okay, so that's all they're defending. Is that the universe is just yours to play with. It's a toy. It's a plaything. Okay, the animals are playthings, the other human beings are playthings. Everything's just a fucking toy for these little fucking baby morons. Oh, I mean, this is such pathetically stupid and ignorant.
Would be that child.
I mean, it's not even Jesus, for fuck's sake. I mean, his argument was the golden rule. Do unto others as you'd have others do unto you. Is that what you want having done on you? You want somebody to ignore your capacity to be tortured and torture you? And then enjoy it because I don't have to pay any attention. It doesn't hurt me any. Oh, it hurts you? Oh, well, too bad. You don't count. I mean, fuck you people. These are such fake, phony Christians. This is such Trumpy Christianity, you know? Hold the book upside down. It's how much reverence they have for any of the jargon of the Bible. Anything it might be saying as any kind of message about improving yourself or being, trying to be decent. Yeah, well, it doesn't do much of that, does it? I mean, it really is just about bullshit. I mean, if you have to tell people, well, don't murder your neighbor, don't fuck his wife, don't do this, you have to tell them all this crap. Don't litter, don't shit in their water. I mean, isn't your religion already fail if you have to actually explain this shit to these assholes? You have to write a whole thick book, and they still can't behave decently. Oh, well, I'll just say I'm sorry, and I get a get out of jail free card. I could just keep sinning and just keep saying, sorry, I didn't mean it. Well, of course I did mean it, but, I just want my free lunch. Let me sin and, just keep pretending it's all okay, because I'll just keep saying, forgive me, even though you don't mean any of it. Oh, you're all such despicable, duplicitous, hypocritical scum.
Who would be choosing to have that perception. So you and other people with your
choosing to have a perception. So again, even this moronic statement, your brain decides, it doesn't choose. Ugh. And it calculates the decision. It's not something where you can, I can change the variables and the decision will be changed. No, you can't change the variables. There's no variables. There's no you to change the variables. Oh, fuck, they're just so dumb.
Your same worldview this is what the data says, is that people with
No, what the data says is that Christians molest their kids a lot. That's what the data says.
Natalist worldviews, utilitarianism, leftism are notoriously
leftism. It's just so funny. They're totally against feminine rights and all that kind of crap, and she's orthodox, and here she isn't paying any attention to what the Bible says about women, which is shut the fuck up and vacuum. Just amazing. Where's your vacuum cleaner, bitch? And your slop bucket? Where the fuck are they?
more likely to be depressed, to be suicidal.
Well, yeah, because
because reality is in fact pretty fucking ugly. Mass murder is pretty goddamn unpleasant to watch. Maybe you think it's a big fun game. Yes, I love watching mass murder. It's really cool when the guts come out and they're trailing behind the organism, you know, or its legs are all shattered and it's crawling with just part of its body as the other part gets eaten by maggots. That's so much fucking goddamn fun! I mean, how could I be so crazy not to think this is just such a goddamn good time? God, amazing. I mean, not to have a tiny bit of humility. You know, in the face of what nature can do to you, bitch. There could be a tumor growing right now in your fucking head, and it's gonna pop your eye out of your fucking socket. That's a reality. It's sitting there waiting for you, bitch. And you think you should be having a good time. Oh, fuck you. Too stupid. I mean, these kind of morons. I mean, really. I mean, you're just saying... How could you educate somebody this dumb? It's like my sister. You couldn't educate her. You couldn't explain to her you're invested in complete nonsense. And yes, it's just absolutely horrible. Okay, you're going to die of cancer. It's going to suck. And there's no salvation. There's no escape. And you're not going to any goddamn heaven and do anything. What are you going to do in goddamn heaven? What's the theme song for heaven? Boring, 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 boring. And what's the reality of us, right? You slide your big dick in, you slide your big dick out, you, you shake it all about, you do the Humpty Dumpty, and just jizz all about. That's what it's all about. Yeah, that's all it is. That's all we do. That's all we obsess about is, you know, getting our little moments of ooh, ooh, ooh. And that's it. That's all they're all doing. They're all striving to find something that'll arouse them and make them interested. And that's it. And what have you done? You've taken this silly, moronic, thousands-of-year-old fish story, okay, a gingerbread story, and built your life around it. I mean, you're Smurfs. You're not human beings. Oh, it's just disgusting.
Facing reality.
But you can't demonstrate that that's what the case is. You can't demonstrate that your reality is the true reality and that
Okay, so there's no real argument, right? I mean, yeah, you can. There's a thing called science. It demonstrates all kinds of facts that aren't... The Bible has no clue. You can't stop the sun, all right, because then the Earth crashes into the sun. You know, I mean, you know, if it's not orbiting. So, I mean, it's just, there's so many little details. Not a mention of a protozoa or a microbe in the Bible anywhere, all right? And we know these are all the vectors of diseases. People weren't killed by anything else but bad luck, okay? They walked on the wrong street. They touched the wrong surface and picked up a germ, okay? It wasn't God's will. All right, it was a tragic mistake of bad circumstances. That's the reality of this life on this planet. All right, is that it's not being run by some intelligent designer. Okay, it's a disgusting evolution process. It's a gladiator war, and it's built out of mass murder. That's the reality, and you're an insane kook who denies that physical facts of our existence. You stupid, ignorant cunt. Flapping vagina.
my perception of reality is false. You even said that you can't demonstrate that.
I can't believe he has me come to this fucking idiotic video demonstrating how, what, his wife is making a winning argument? Defending a bizarre interpretation of Christianity? You know, the selfish cunt version of Christianity? Old Testament Christianity? Yeah. Amazing. Fucking amazing.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what, if the fact of the matter is you are saying that something that may not be true is worthy of your offspring being miserable. Sorry, I don't know if we're allowed to.
No. The point is yes, you're denying. You're even the very idea that you're so confident. What if? I mean, the very reason why I wouldn't do some things isn't because it's a certain risk. You know, like it's a 99% chance it's going to happen. All I need is a 1% chance to say, fuck that, I'm not doing it. You know, you don't, you know, because you can't in any way rationally explain how you could correct or fix, because once you've allowed the tragedy, it's allowed. Now you've created a mess that you can't clean up. Who wants to be in the position where you create a mess you can't clean up? You know, you accidentally, shit in somebody else's living room, and you don't have any capacity to do anything about it. I mean, those circumstances suck. And a reasonable person doesn't put them in a circumstance where I can't buy insurance. I can't cover the damage. You don't give somebody something that can blow their face off. You say, well, until they make it the gift in a form that doesn't blow their face off ever, I'm not going to give them the gift. It's too ridiculous to take the risk. That's utilitarianism. That's recognizing the full weight of the problem, which is if you don't have enough money in your fund to cover the flood, then you have no business selling the insurance. You have no business selling a life you can't compensate for the worst case. If you can't fix the worst case, you have no business imposing it.
Swear on this channel.
Yeah, you can.
But I'm just saying.
So he said nothing. So he said, "Oh boy," and there you can. That's his magnificent intellectual contribution to the philosophical conversation.
It made you are
the real
invited.
her's coming.
So he keeps talking over the video. What the fuck? How stupid are you? Well, we already know you're really stupid. But I mean, goddamn, it's a little thing you can figure out. I mean, how could you ever watch a video on YouTube? Have you ever watched one and then recognize that, oh, it doesn't make much sense when I'm watching a video if people are talking over each other? That's just sort of a waste of my time.
It's coming.
That God might not exist. That it may all be...
And he's still smoking cigarettes, right? So that's what he needs all the money for. So, I did download the video to avoid all the commercials. So he's got to, sell. He's got to have a bunch of commercials in the video so he can afford to still be a smoker. And that's the great American way, is to, find one little vice and tax the fuck out of it. Find a minority vice and tax the fuck out of it. That's very American. Yeah, right. It's not American at all.
You might be 100% wrong, and you're not taking the fail-safe. You're playing. You're rolling the dice with their welfare.
Amanda, you.
So what is difficult about this understanding of risk and saying I'm not going to take it? So I could drive my car with bald tires, and I could say, oh, I'm willing to take the risk. Oh, it's only like a 1 in 1,000 chance that the tire will blow up. Oh, and I might hit a light post. What if you hit a 6-year-old kid put in a wheelchair for the rest of its life? Is it still worth taking the chance? I mean, this doesn't take much of a brain to figure out. I mean, to rationalize and make excuses for recklessness and a lack of consideration, to make a defense of being motherfucking rude, all right, is really dumb.
You said that you believe in negative utilitarianism. So, even from your worldview, if I can demonstrate that helping people believe a cozy lie gives them a better...
Okay, she's just making the same argument, Joey. She may have already pointed out that it's not just about you. It's about the welfare of your kid. It's about the welfare of the rest of the people in the world. If you raise your kid and he's a rapist, it's your fucking fault. I mean, you made the rapist. How are you gonna give back the woman raped back her sexual identity? How are you gonna recover her? Reclamate her? How are you gonna take those images out of her fucking brain? You bitch.
life and less suffering, you would have to bite the bullet and say that that's better than your view, which you...
Right, so this is just, again, this is just Nietzschean selfish bullshit. This has nothing to do with a philosophical perspective that recognizes that this isn't a simulation and that human beings are not play toys and animals are not playthings. Duh! I mean, this is so ignorant.
You just said makes people miserable, nihilistic, and want to self-delete.
Well, oops. But that's a misunderstanding of negativity.
Yeah, really. You know, why would the idea of self-deleting, okay, is just a reaction to your own pain. And the fact is, though, many people endure all kinds of misery and horror. They go to wars and sit in trenches for months, if not years. They have their toes frozen off, all kinds of inconveniences, but they know they still have a mission. They might wish themselves dead. They might say, oh, I just can't wait for the bullet. But the fact is they do their job, okay? They figure out that there's a mess to clean up here, and you're the mess makers. You skanky, flappy, drippy, you know, disgusting, pus-covered intellectual midget. You're the problem. I gotta hit the right button here, this one. Yeah, who knows how much of this video is actually in the video. Look, it shouldn't be that hard. They're two different buttons, but you know, you move the mouse from one to the other, and you know. Oh boy! Wow, I really defeated the argument, didn't I? Did you hear that? Oh boy, did I ever win that argument. Funny antic, funny antic. There, did I win? Can I have a trophy? I really annihilated her, didn't I? With that brilliant comeback. I mean, at least this couple is made for each other, right? I mean, there's no argument there. I mean, I was saying, oh, yeah, man, what is she thinking? She actually, you know, lets that thing touch her? But now it makes perfectly good sense because they're both profoundly retarded.
It is not that anything imaginable that might alleviate some suffering is the right way to go. It's the argument for how to end suffering.
So this is the argument from LOL. He's LOLing! He wins! He LOL'd! Write it in big letters, capital letters, LOL! I laughed, therefore I win! I'm laughing, so I win! There's no arguments here. Oh, shit. If you're anything besides what I am, you're a nihilist. That's what they're basically saying, right? There's no variations. You know, no, you have to be a selfish lunatic.
I mean, it doesn't mean that we need to predicate the whole negative utilitarianism on, you know, convenient, happy lies. It's to try to find reasonable means of alleviating suffering. Now,
it's gracefully living. You have to live gracefully, meaning you have to have a minor blood torture horror footprint. If your footprints are a bunch of, you know, horribly harmed things, then you're not utilitarianly winning. You have to count the footprints. Shit. I mean, shit. To have to explain this to people. Amazing.
Listen, you know, antinatalists, again, not a monolith. You know, extinctionism, not what all negative utilitarianists, antinatalists believe. You know, there's other antinatalist philosophers like David Pearce who believes that what we should be doing is, you know, re-editing the human genome to not suffer.
So yeah, now she's doing her big tent thing, which isn't a very useful argument, frankly. No, the simple utilitarian argument is, okay, so, you know, hey, look, she's doing this live, you know, I'm doing it live. But I mean, you don't come up with perfect arguments. You don't even sing songs perfectly. You know, you can't take her argument and just say, okay, the argument is pretty simple. It's just saying you can't just count how it affects you. That's not very complicated. It's not about you. Okay, it's about all of the sentient things that are affected by your behavior. That's the utilitarian context. There's no point in talking about doing the math if you're not going to include all the other variables that are included in the formula. The formula has everything in it, not just you. Yeah, that's a simple enough way of saying it, right? I mean, slightly technical, but it's pretty direct. Makes it pretty clear that utilitarian doesn't mean me.
There are other...
That was brutal, dude.
Pretty rare. Actually, I think...
That was fucking brutal.
That, you know, if we could...
Dude, just another way of saying boys, you know, are, you know, just put in your suitable insult.
You know, gerontologists
and
like,
fun. It was fun to watch.
Aubrey de Grey, and I think the philosopher John Harris also makes
our own flawed logic defeated.
Oh, again, so it's some more. It's just so brilliant to talk over somebody who's talking. It's just such a smart, brilliant idea. Why didn't I think of that? Fuck.
We could, you know, dramatically extend human life. That there would you know, be less reason or maybe no reason to have children, or that there would have to be some trade-off. So there's all kinds of other, you know...
yeah, there's all kinds of silly ways people can try to take this basic mechanism, this desire machine, and say it has some function and it can actually do something useful. But they're all silly fantasies. You're just driven by an emptiness inside of you. As the movie said, an incompleteness. And you keep looking for something to complete you. Okay? And does any of you really think that ever happens? That this completing thing ever happens? And the thing that completes you doesn't get cancer and die right in front of your fucking goddamn face and bleed on your feet? I mean, where is this happily ever after crap that they're selling? It doesn't exist. You will never be completed, and you will never complete the project of saying, I'm finished. You're never finished until they're poking the eye out of your head. Then you're finished.
Possible answers to this conundrum. It doesn't have to be that. I mean, it is the perspective that I take on. I think it's better to just not mess with it. And
another brilliant argument. Boy, he's just so insightful, right? I mean, you just can't deny it. I mean, he's just wow, he's nailing it. I mean, every one of those arguments is just so fucking good. The argument from I mean, damn, every time somebody uses that, it always wins. Bang! You win.
but yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of different answers that don't have to settle for the...
I mean, why don't you just get a noisemaker that makes fart sounds, and then you could have, like, whatever, that vagina thingy that people do. You have all kinds of little silly sounds, and you can just play little silly sounds over the video. I mean, you know, but you're not a very good performance artist. You're not doing it very well. So you probably need to have a synthesizer, and you can create barf sounds and fart sounds and all kinds of interesting, fun 11-year-old sounds. I can't believe this moron wanted me to watch this crap and point out how his brain is as small as his dick.
Easy answers of, well, let's just feed people a God story and that'll make them happy.
So, do you believe that there's such a thing as objective reality and that you're...
Oh, a real reality? Do you believe there's a real reality? You're supposed to say objective morality or objective value. And yeah, the simple argument is I'm a sentient organism sampling horrible sensations and pleasant sensations. And having sampled them, okay, and experienced them, I'm quite confident that the shitty ones are shitty and appropriately called shitty, and the less shitty ones are appropriately called a lot fucking better than the shitty ones. Fuck.
Version is more objective and mine is more fantastical and...
No, yours is a silly fucking fable. A nonsensical little drivelly story like Peter Rabbit or the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus. I'm not allowed to say Santa Claus doesn't exist. Do you think that's taking a step too far? I really don't have a right to say it's just a made-up story? Of course I have that right. It's the perfectly reasonable conclusion to draw because there's zero fucking evidence that this story is true. There's not even a picture of an elf. There's nothing. And your story about this fucking cloud ruby encrusted heaven place is just the same story. Doesn't have a single shred of hard evidence. And every single, I mean, even the miracle thing, even though you can't prove God didn't cause a miracle, what you can prove is, isn't it funny that none of the miracles involve growing your finger back? I mean, God can cure your cancer, he can extract all your tumors, but he can't make your finger, just the tip of your finger, he can't make that grow back. It's reason to be skeptical. And I'm skeptical. Really skeptical.
Fabricated for the purposes of helping me cope with the horrors of life.
Arguments of cope, I don't know. I don't know you all that well. I don't...
Yeah, really, yeah. So we're supposed to figure out whether you were brainwashed by your skanky mother, or what the hell your problem was that drove you to the nunnery, so to speak, or to the silly philosophy of mumbo-jumbo and praying to, you know, totem poles. Yeah, who the fuck knows why you're a moron, but obviously your brain has been infected by dumb ideas, and now it can't do any logic, because it has a bunch of stupid in it.
I don't know if this is what you're doing to cope with the realities of life.
We think what they're doing is making money selling crap to moronic Christians. So they know that this moronic audience of inheritance wealthers will pay them to talk crap. You know, to talk about how, yes, it's all about your genetics, and we should reward you for your genetics. You shouldn't have to earn anything. Just be hatched from the right vagina. Yeah, that's what Jesus said. Jesus always walked up to people and say, "What vagina did you fall out of?" You know, that's how we decide what you deserve. Fuck you.
You know, I mean, that's an argument that I don't make.
I wonder if he's drinking water. Holy water. You're only supposed to drink booze if you're morbid and depressed. That's what the Bible says. Give the booze to the poor and the miserable. The happy Christian shouldn't be drinking.
Ever, and that's not my point in saying any of this.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think men can be women and women can be men?
Oh dear, why? This okay, so you had me linked to this subject. I really have no interest in this. I have no thing to play besides saying I don't care. If somebody wants to actually have surgery to become a squirrel, why should I give a fuck? So yeah, if somebody doesn't feel right and they don't want to be role-playing as male, and you know, they want to wear makeup, they want to do this, they want to do that, they want to cut their penis, why the fuck should I care? I'm just saying I don't have any obligation to pretend that you're now whatever it is you're trying to be, okay? Because you're not really that thing, okay? You're something synthetic trying to be that thing. But let's not pretend that you're actually now grown a uterus and you can have babies and all of that horseshit. But even if we could transplant uteruses or something, if some asshole wants to have a uterus transplanted into him, why the fuck should I give a damn? Why is it a problem for me? As long as he's paying for it. I mean, if he's going to force me to pay for it, well, fuck that. Yeah, I don't have that obligation. Continuing. But yeah, I really don't want to do this subject, so we'll just skip over it. We'll hope we skipped over it.
The fact that your argument is completely contradictory and totally incoherent, because you think that when Christians assert that a God might exist, or that at least living in such a way that a God might exist, and taking Pascal's wager is silly.
So he is drinking booze, and they call themselves Orthodox Christians. For an Orthodox Christian, this is not what you do. You don't drink for entertainment. You drink to ease pain. So it's almost like the Muslim thing. I mean, you know, Christians, if you're going to be an Orthodox Christian, you don't think gambling is a good thing, and you don't think drinking is a good thing. That's not holy water. So there's hypocrites, right? They're just liars. They're just playing a moronic audience and say, let's just pretend to be ignorant rednecks and take in the cash. You know, they're redneck Oreos. You know what I mean? They're redneck on the outside and just selfish cunt on the inside. And that's all they are. There's no Christian anywhere.
Delusional. You don't see it's an argument from incredulity that you don't see a good reason to believe it. You think your reality is true, but then you'll also say that if you find utility in pretending to be a lady when you're a dude with a beard.
Yeah, how does that hurt anybody else? How is it any of your business? I just don't understand. If she decides to sew a beard on her face and talk with a rough voice, and even implant some hormones and do some, how is this your problem? How is this in your way somehow? What is it? That's like nuclear radiation or something? You're afraid it's going to make you sick or it's going to hurt you in some way? What the fuck is your goddamn problem, you fucking lunatic? Man, it's just so goddamn stupid. I mean, if you had sex biblically, okay, then you've only had it. How many kids do you have? That's all. I mean, come on, get real. You're going to pretend to me that you haven't avoided having kids ever? You've had just as many as the times you've had sex. You've taken the chance every single time. You've never worn a condom, never took a pill, never did anything to disrupt the process. Because frankly, under Orthodox Christianity, it would be a sin to prevent the process. I mean, you're just such lying, duplicitous hunks of goddamn garbage. Oh, I hate this planet. Jesus. This will just, it's this war between intelligence and fucking completely moronic stupidity. It's going to end badly. There's no way it can end well. Because these people are so obnoxious to the truth, so obnoxious to facts.
That is perfectly acceptable and a fine thing to do. Please square that circle.
Please do.
So again, how is it a utilitarian crime? How have you hurt somebody else by desiring to change your appearance and your social relationships? How the fuck is that you're harming somebody? How is it violating any utilitarian principle? I would argue it's violating an efficiency principle because, as I made the complete argument before, you're not going to be completed. You think it's going to complete you, and guess what? It's really not going to complete you, so you're still going to be fucked.
Words into my
mouth. Please square that circle.
Is that I think
please square that circle.
Yeah, that's it. Another winning argument, boy. I tell you, this guy is just an encyclopedia of the best top 10 winning arguments ever stated. Square that circle. Circle that square. Circle that square. That's my version. Circle that square. Triangle that up hypotenuse. Hyperboloid that straight line. Oh, boy, that's even better. Ooh, I can't wait to use that on somebody. Hyperborealoid, that straight line.
If that's what you believe, and that's what you want to believe, that's the world.
Oh, now you're gonna switch. You're gonna pivot to a libertarian. Hey, you do you, I'll do me. No. You are advocating for the extinction of...
This really isn't that complicated, okay? It's the whole system is what has to be accounted for. The impact on the whole system. There's no negative impact on the whole system. There's no rabbits running for their holes because somebody doesn't feel right in their male body. It's not happening. There's not some terror. Birds aren't being knocked out of trees. I mean, there's just no harm created, so there's no reason for a rational person to say, don't do that, it's tragic and horrible. No, it isn't. There's no tragedy. There's no horror. I would argue it's a little silly and wasteful, but okay. There's no tragedy and no horror.
All life on this planet, ma'am, and you'd better have a better argument and a more coherent argument than, I don't really believe Christianity, but if a man wants to believe that he can be a woman, go for it, buddy.
So what's the rationality here again? Why the fuck would I care how somebody else has sex? Or how somebody else washes their dishes? Or how somebody else rubs the crap out of their eye? Why do I care? I care if they stick their finger in their ass and then turn the doorknob. That might bug me. Okay, but I don't care about all this other shit. I don't care that your moronic husband is wearing I'm a redneck hat. I notice it. I say, gee, that's pretty fucked up. But I don't think I need to pass a law against it. You're just saying what the audience for this buffoonery is. What the fuck audience can find any of this horse shit the least bit appealing?
But let's bring into any of this. Why are you doing that? It's not the arguments I'm making at all.
I'm pointing out that this is all a facade. Your whole theory, your book that you wrote, the videos you've made,
they're all on the tranny agenda. Every one of them. It's all over the place. You can read it. You read in the fucking 4,000 pages of mush, I would argue. But anyway, it's all the tranny agenda. You just never say tranny, and you never say sex change, and you never say sexual identity, and you never say all the code words. But if you read it upside down and tilt it sideways, it's got tranny all over it.
That's all incoherent. It's a contradiction. You are in mental contradiction. You can't give me any arguments for why we ought to do what you're saying we ought to do, other than you just think it's better. And you can't tell me how we're going to get there.
So yes, of course, she's saying she thinks it's better if something doesn't get tortured. And clearly, unless you can make an argument that you're doing something better, that you're actually needed here, like you're vital, that something will be tortured if you don't exist, unless you can make that argument, preventing the torture wins. Yeah. So you have to make some argument that you're a spectacular success and that, the universe would be so in pain and it would be in prison. The universe would be in prison if you didn't exist. And you can't make that argument. And that's the simple truth. You're just disgusting, torturing gluttons. You're mass murderers. You're school shooters. That's all you are. You'll kill anything to live your delusion. You'll harm anything to have what you want.
You're like, well, we don't have the technology to do it now, but I still think we should try. And I say, what if that results?
So again, we don't have the technology. Well, we have things called hydrogen bombs. They're pretty goddamn, they're pretty impressive, frankly. If you don't blow them up underground, oh boy, will they make a mess.
It's an infinitely more suffering. You're like, I don't know, I just think we should still try. It's like, if you're going to write philosophy books with people and publish them in Cambridge, I expected better. I'm just a homeschool.
Oh, whatever. There's just no. She's not making an argument relevant to a single quote from the document. So make your argument actually quoting something in the book. Quote some argument and say, well, this is the evidence demonstrating that doesn't actually happen. Torture doesn't happen. Go ahead, make the argument that torture doesn't happen. It's nothing to worry about. Being tortured is not something to worry about. Make your valid argument defending that premise.
Mom with a high school diploma, and you are presenting incoherent arguments that don't work, and
yeah, really nice
logic here. So maybe you can express it better.
So, so somebody should do me the favor. Take all the clips that he added to the video and put them end to end. Because it'll be a funny as fuck video. Oh, he's made such a contribution.
Also, espousing that there might not be a God, you're admitting that you might be wrong as well, and that if
yes, and if you're wrong and there's no God, then it's mass murder, and you defended it. You gave the school shooter the gun. Fact. That's the absolute fact. If you're wrong, all you did was give a psychopathic process, an unintelligent machine, weapons. You weaponized it. You gave it power to mass murder. That's worse than Hitler, by the way.
you have a child under that belief, you might be doing them harm. So I have never at any point said that I have all the answers or that I know.
Oh, well, I have said it. I have all the ones that matter. So you have a question you need answered. I have an answer that's way good enough. You won't need any other answer. It's going to be way good enough, way close enough to the facts.
What the end game looks like, but it is my firm belief. It is not. Yeah,
the end game is pretty. It could go a lot sideways. And the whole argument is you have to have these conversations in a reasonable context to prevent it going sideways. Because that's not the objective, is the sloppy solution. The objective is the best solution. Compromise is often the worst thing you can do.
A delusion, or is not a facade. It is not something that I am espousing for whatever nefarious ends. That it would be.
Look, we're all just applying our best judgment. I'm just saying, I know I don't want to come back here as a bug or a squirrel or a ferret or any of it. Even a paramecium. I don't want to be bothered waking up in this shithole ever again. And the I part isn't personal. It's just this idea that there's not going to be any difference than me waking up here and anything waking up here. It's the waking up part I know is that's the part that fucks the game. And so I'm saying it's a game not worth playing. I'm sure of that. And I'm just going to give you my best advice that nobody should be supporting the game. Because it's a bloodbath. It's cruel and ignorant. You can't... There's nothing about life that doesn't revolve around cruelty and ignorance. That's the only way we can get anywhere, is to scheme and to, again, steal somebody else's energy. It's just a planet covered with machines that are stealing what other machines have earned.
Better if we played the failsafe.
There's a magnet in my hand. It's not my fault.
Was in harm's way,
there's a magnet in my hand, and
there's a magnet in my hand. Magnet in it. There's a magnet in my hand. What the fuck are you saying? A maggot? A magnum? What are you saying? He's very articulate. Sheesh.
Magnet and
I'm embarrassed I don't have such good articulation. I has a magnet in my hand. I have a cup in my hand. It says, happy, happy. Yeah, this is my grandpa. Funny, isn't it? Of course, I got it in the garbage. Wasn't my choice. My brain didn't decide, I'm going to buy that cup. It is so cool. No, I never decided.
I can't help it. I can't help it.
Yeah, that's what Pirro said. You know, his sperm wanted to have a kid. He didn't have anything to do with it. The sperm done it.
Is here.
I know. I love my wife. It's cringe. I know.
Aberrant.
Cringe. Yes, your entire contribution has. Boy, that sure is a bad aftertaste.
Cringe.
And we value
Go ahead,
it.
Give me the cringe.
You know, we need it to be good.
This is just, this is like Christian rock or something, right? It's just, whoa, this is just too fucked up.
Need it to have all of this.
It's like, Jesus. Yeah, well, I heard stories. Jesus used to wear his redneck hat, and he'd be smoking his cigarette and drinking booze and talking about cringing. It's very Jesus-like.
Meaning that goes beyond the terrestrial meaning that we can assign to it. But if there is any doubt that might be the case, that
look, if there's no God, you just have to defend mass murder. What's the big deal? So go ahead, tell me that if you're wrong and there is no God, that Earth is still just a lovely place. I mean, what's wrong with mass murder? What's wrong with killing 10,000 little baby sea turtles to have one big turtle? Isn't that great economics? 10,000 murders and one fornication. Yeah. Oh, it's so worth it. You get fucked once and you kill 10,000 babies. Brilliant. Who could find that offensive? Being pecked to death. I wish I could have such a good time.
God doesn't exist, and that if there is any doubt in your mind that a God exists, and if
so, this goes right to that argument. Like I said, there's lots of radical Christians who have admitted, okay, that if God didn't exist, they'd kill themselves. They've admitted that, yeah, life would be just too horrible to face. So, and really, like I said, you just have to think about the people you've known, people who are beautiful and had high dignity, and you watch them destroyed, absolutely destroyed in the most hideous, disgusting way. And you're going to tell me it's worth it. Fuck you.
And if I am in any way correct, that all you are doing is rolling the dice with the sentient welfare of the things you espouse to love the most.
Andrew loves his wife.
Again,
I know.
We're talking about kids, moron. You're talking about your kids are what you're supposed to love the most. You're supposed to care about them and worry for them and want the best for them. And the fact is, you've exposed them to an insane number of possible bad outcomes. You've gone to the fucking store and you've bought a bunch of horrible lottery tickets and put your kid's name on them. He's going to become a drug addict. He's going to get herpes. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. He's going to do this. You've done all of that. You've bought those tickets for your fucking kid. You asshole. And obviously the big ticket you can't undo is he's going to be murdered. And perhaps hideously. Over years. He'll be cut to pieces. You fuck.
It's cringe. I know. Stupid Andrew.
Yeah, stupid Andrew. Why the fuck did you email me to respond to this drivel? except because you thought it would be entertaining, right? That's it. That's all that came to your mind is as well. Yeah, Inmendham will add some comic relief, and so that'll make it all that much more fun, right? Because you just couldn't care less about the actual subject. Oh God, the hate, you know. So it's like what's, you know, Apocalypse Now, you know, the horror, but it comes with that. That's right. Just recognizing that these people trivializing the insanely high price being paid for this nonsense, for this shit, for this fucking pantomime human. Let's play pantomime human. All right, and we're going to torture things for this performance, for this absolute shit of a conversation. Well, I guess I win the argument. Yeah, at least that, right? Because what does this demonstrate? Is this worth killing my sister over a 5-year period? No, this shit isn't worth it. If we can't do better than this, then the price is way too high.
Back once again and just point out that the reason you're like, I don't understand why you're bringing this up. I'm going to call it Matt Dillahunty's dilemma, right? That you and other agents.
So now he has to defend Matt Dillahunty. Yeah. So it's just a conversation about atheism. Obviously, Matt Dillahunty is not an anti-natalist. He made a video, you know, pissing on the subject. So obviously, she doesn't have any obligation to defend him.
Atheists will say to Christians that it's actually not good for you guys to come up with these lies and these things that aren't true, these fantasies that you, even if they help you cope with life, even if people report more media.
All right, so again, this is just a waste of time. Because it's not what you feel. It's not how it affects you. It's about how it affects the slaves. It's about how it affects the kid with leukemia. It's about how it affects people like me and people like Amanda who have had to spend long, hard decades, okay, doing nothing but feeling the pains of empathy. I mean, I just had the vision of, you know, when I was about 25, whatever, probably earlier than that, 20. I moved out of the house, blah, blah, blah. I had my own place. And I deliberately, okay, I varnished my table with animals, you know, from National Geographic and other magazines, animals being, experimented on, you know, electrodes in their brains, all that kind of stuff. And I covered the whole perimeter of the, top of the wall with all kinds of other nature pictures, and a substantial portion of them having to do with something getting run down and consumed, this kind of stuff, just to keep me always mindful of the real context of my silly existence, that my silly existence is in this real world. It's not this, wear your little human shoes and do your little human behavior and play your little human game. That's not what life did on this planet for 674 million years. That's not the story. The story is things getting eaten alive over and 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 over again. Fuck you.
And purpose, less suffering, a reason to suffer, that you find purpose in the suffering if you're gonna suffer anyway.
Oh, brother. If you're gonna suffer anyway, just, it's like, I don't even know how to make an analogy to that. What's the analogy? Let's see. If you're gonna throw up anyway, you might as well, the acid in your stomach is already bad enough, right? But yeah, you might as well drink glitter, so then you can throw up glitter. I mean, what the fuck is that? You might as well be happy about your torture. If you're going to bother being tortured anyway, you might as well put on a happy face. What's it hurt? It's just a few little muscles. Just put on a happy face. Yeah. It's still ridiculous, right? Oh, amazing. And if your neighbor's going to be tortured anyway, right? They got the cancer and it's poking their eye out of their head. You might as well have a party. You might as well laugh your ass off. Let's have bets. When do you think the eye will fall out? What date? What hour? Yeah, let's have like one of those lotteries and we'll predict what date and what hour their eye falls out. It'll be so much fun. Because if it's going to happen anyway, we ought to make it entertaining. Oh, God, you people just can't get it any worse than you just can't. There's nothing I could imagine as a proper deserve for you.
That it's not worth it because it's not in touch with reality. But then you guys are perfectly willing to allow other people to have internal fantasies as long as the...
yeah, it's just ridiculous. I need to bother wasting my time worrying about other people's internal fantasies. Oh, no, I don't. It doesn't a threat to me in any way. They're internal BO. We've got to stop the internal BO. Oh, wait a minute. No, we don't. They're pooing in their own water. We have to stop it. Why? Yeah. I mean, it's just such a waste of time. This guy kind of looks like somebody who stuck his tongue in somebody's ass. Should I pass a law against it? Because it's a little bit stupid. Oh, anyway, yeah. Oh, God, I can't believe I have to breathe the same air that goes even by these people. Ooh, creepy. All right, enough for now. I'll try some more later. All right, sometime later. Yeah, I'm back. Let's see if they can provoke me again. Trigger me. Oh, God, I hate this planet.
Those things, for example, feminism. If you don't like let's take feminism. Letting women believe that they're just like a man, that they can do anything a man can do, and that their rights do not exist explicitly at the behest of men who are willing to enforce those rights is Delulu Fantasyland.
So I don't know what that is exactly. It's really just talking about a woman's, who's making the argument that women can lift as much weight or some other thing, right? Or, we could argue about midgets. I mean, obviously there's physical differences. There's women who are, they weigh more, they have more muscular, whatever, lower body fat weight thing. They have all the capacity. And yes, still they have some differences. They have more, white fat than brown fat and some other kind of bullshit. Their capacity to grow muscles is different unless they take steroids or some other kind of bullshit. But who cares? Why is it relevant to sit there and say, oh, women are shorter, generally speaking, and then just rub it in? So we could say that some races, like Asians, are smaller people, and we just rub that in. Say you're smaller people. I mean, obviously it's kind of depressing in a sense to watch some sports because, they really have become kind of, well, you have to be one kind of body type. You have to be some kind of extraordinarily minority, type of physical body, or you can't play the sport anymore competitively. And I wouldn't say that's a good thing. But what's your argument? Why should there be a bigotry against a woman being just as active in politics and all that stuff? And that's what your religion says, is that women should be seen and not heard, essentially. So if you're going to make some argument, well, please explain to me where that's not the implication. Just too stupid.
Yet you will all inevitably argue that we should continue it because it's better, because women might suffer more if we don't let them. Yet, when Christians say, you can't prove to me that there's no God, you cannot demonstrate.
Right, and you can't prove to me, I can't prove that there's no gingerbread land somewhere, or no Wizard of Oz. Oh, wait a minute, I can prove it. Because I can demonstrate it's a made-up story, okay? And so all we're lacking is we don't have a videotape of how they constructed Christianity. We have some evidence of how it was constructed, what books they used, what pieces of paper, what documents, all right, and how the whole, the sun, and how the sun became the Son of God, that it was first the god Thor, it was the sun god, and so there's lots of evidence that it's just a cobbled together silly little narrative just made out of Smurfs and Rugrats. You could just smash a few cartoons together, South Park and The Simpsons, and you could make a new cartoon. That's all the religion is, and you know it, and everybody else who has a brain knows it, because all these different cultures made up a completely different cartoon. I mean, your argument is silly. I have no obligation to prove you wrong, because what you're saying doesn't have any evidence to support it. Fuck. And there's a volume of scientific evidence that demonstrates grotesque contradictions with your silly narrative. Bacteria alone. The fact that the Bible takes no account of the fact that people are contagious. Yeah.
That Christ didn't rise from the dead, or that God didn't create us in his own image for a purpose.
What image? Man or woman? You just made the distinction. You just pointed out how there's real distinctions between men and women. Which one was God?
You can't, and no one else.
Was he an Aphrodite thingy? Do you have both penises and vaginas and big bit, had boobs and all that kind of stuff? What's the truth?
Has ever demonstrated that? You just find it incredulous, and therefore you think there's a risk.
Yes, of course. I think it's incredulous that people will support a silly fable and live by it. I think that's disgusting. You don't have 100 billion neurons to be irrational. The whole reason why you have them is to walk around fables, to avoid quicksand, to stay out of nonsense.
There in people being born, yet when we ask people, you're in this tiny minority. It's something like, I don't know, probably 97% of all people, despite their suffering on this earth, say they prefer to live.
Right, and the argument is about preferring to live. The argument is, do you really need to have children and to jeopardize, put them at huge risk? And most of it is not a risk. They are going to get sick, they are going to get some disability, they are going to be impaired and slowly, usually destroyed. 97% of them are not going to die in their sleep. So, fuck you. Yeah.
And you're saying they're all crazy and you're the one...
Yeah, they're all stupid. That's just a fact. I mean, the average person is really, really dumb. They do these TV shows where they ask them simple questions on the street, and they don't even know the Earth is round. They don't know shit. Yeah, most people are dumb as piles of dog shit, like you.
Who has the coherent view, yet when I demonstrate it's incoherent, you have nothing.
What's your coherent? What did you demonstrate that was coherent exactly? What argument did you make that is coherent to the subject? You just sit there and said that Amanda wants people to kill themselves. That's not what she wants. She just wants people not to have babies. Now, I want people to recognize that the whole point is that all of this gooey stuff on Earth is just doing bug stuff, and it's all quite disgusting. It's cannibalism, and we should grow out of it, just like we grew out of bullfighting and dogfighting and cockfighting. I mean, you're an Orthodox religious kook, so I guess that's big fun for you folks. But yeah, we grew out of it. Most people recognize that you don't gratuitously harm things for trivial entertainment, and frankly, having kids isn't just a trivial entertainment, it's molestation. To enjoy putting your precious at risk is sick. It's disgusting.
But equivocation, you won't actually address the problem of how is it okay for you to
dismiss your entire philosophical perspective. Yes, it's easy to do, and it's the only responsible thing to do, because what you're talking is made up, phantasmagorical nonsense for which there's no reason to believe, and certainly no good reason. Yeah.
Grant other people delusions if it helps them cope, but not Christians. Why?
So again, it helps them cope. Again, it doesn't have a damn thing to do with helping them cope. It's their business. So as long as they're not putting a kid in jeopardy. If a tranny wants to have a kid, then I'll say fuck you to the tranny too. You know, and he wants to make him into a tranny, I'll fuck you to that too. Alright, so it's not about what you do to yourself, it's what did you do to others. You still haven't figured that part out. It's in the Bible. Do unto others as you have others do unto you.
Is it okay?
Because
the
again,
whole point,
they're not creating new people. You're creating new people.
There. So, yeah. It's not a complicated argument. I got it. She got it. The moron didn't get it. And certainly the drunk husband didn't catch on.
I've said it a million times. You are the one rolling the risk.
You haven't demonstrated that more people...
He whoa again. Whoa! Whoa! Well, I probably had an argument, but the 4 brain cells can't articulate it. Whoa!
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 They're not creating new people.
Yeah, that's the subject. That's what antinatalism means. You have it in the title of the video, retard. Oh, amazing.
That's why.
Equal less suffering, and you have...
So it's just hilarious, right? It's in the title of the video. The subject is antinatalism. The subject isn't trannyism, or the subject isn't I will have the delusion that I will not die today, and therefore I will try to enjoy my day. No, it's a delusion. I don't have any evidence I'm not going to die today. So I really don't have any reason not to be miserable and kind of depressed because I might die today. But I'm going to live for an optimistic point of view and say, okay, the aneurysm in my head isn't going to explode today, let's say, so I have a little bit more time to make videos. Yeah. That's a harmless delusion. It's just funny that they can't get that this is just arguing about, well, some delusions don't matter, some matter. And the fact is, when you delude yourself into some perspective that everything is going to work out just great and I'm going to win at Las Vegas, that delusion can ruin your family's life.
Nothing to say to that. If we continue to depopulate
your drunken delusions, you know, that, oh, it's just one drink and then it's another one and another one and another one. Well, you think they add up? They're all separate.
The planet and get rid of humans, we're left with a anybody ever
now she's making the Ephelist argument, which is just kind of funny. Obviously you wouldn't want to just get rid of the smart things and leave all the dumb things to eat each other. That would be kind of stupid.
The Discovery Channel,
I think that we run the risk of there being
eating things alive
suffering without.
So you really have to wait till she finishes, even though she never will.
Or people, if we do so without some sort of plan. Right now, everything is happening. No, I know, and neither do you.
Okay, so yeah, the word plan sort of makes, you know, it has a context. So the fact is that we know global warming's happening. We know that 80% of the humans are within 5 miles of a large body of water, and we know those two things aren't going to go together very well. And what do? We still subsidize rebuilding houses on sandbars. That's not a good plan. And so the idea that, well, the earth is going to have a catastrophe, all kinds of things are going to happen. We have all this excess population going out of control, frankly, in the third world. It's just crazy. And you just want to say God says so. Well, I'm saying we should say better. And so we should subsidize not having kids, not subsidize having kids.
What is the point?
Yeah,
the point,
I do have a plan.
If we did
My plan
populate...
is more Christians, more Christian pronatalism equals...
Well, then you should be all pro-immigration, because that's what you're getting. More baby makers. Irresponsible, stupid, fucked-hearted, let's have 7 kids morons.
A kinder world, a more benevolent world of people.
Benevolent in what way? Yeah, sorry. More people playing their radios so loud you can hear them on Mars. Can't wait for that.
People who have a reason to be moral.
And I think that world is already...
A reason to be moral? And obviously the reason is to be immoral, because you just say, I'm sorry. There's no real consequence. Having non-real consequences is like what we're doing now with there's no real laws anymore. You can cheat, you can lie, it doesn't matter. Nobody's accountable for their behavior.
Failed.
Crime does pay. I mean, they really have made it profitable.
Miserably. If people
nobody agrees with you, ma'am. Everybody who's here wants to live, except for you and a hit.
Oh, so again, she keeps talking about wanting to live. It's not about wanting to live. It's about putting a baby in jeopardy. Duh.
Handful of other
and they're free
miserable troll people.
What's that? I thought I killed all the commercials. Oh, that's the end. All right, so yes, so this moron, again, he sends me an email saying, oh, I tried to debunk, blah, 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 blah. I met my wife, and blah, and he adds nothing to the content. 0. Blah, blah, I'm drinking. God said so. So he's conceding he's depressed and ill and needs the medication of alcohol. But he's defending... It's really great that God made me depressed and ill. Yeah, fuck him. Oh, so that was really dumb, right? Yeah. All right. It's very difficult to just have any optimism for the future. But anyway, I know it'll get here eventually. Eventually, intelligence will be respectable again. And all of these morons will be put in their proper cage. The common thugs, will be on a bracelet. Yeah, it's just yuck. But the other scenario where the AI creates the cage, and humans just become zoo creatures to be laughed at by an artificial intelligence, I suppose is also possible. But anyway, who knows? All I'm saying is this: the longer you live, the more depressing it gets at this particular time in human history, right? So there was other times in history where things weren't looking too good, and then they got better. So hopefully there'll be one of those Renaissance things. The trick is those labels are wrong. Like Greenland and Iceland, the labels are backwards. It's the same kind of thing. The Renaissance was really the Dark Ages, and the Dark Ages was really the Renaissance. But anyway, I guess that's enough. Maybe I'll add something later, but we'll see. Probably should publish the video now, because I might be dead 5 hours from now. Could be.